freedom. Corruption adversely affects each and every sector
any
of the
sort of
country.
ideology. This is a great location for Nepal to explore its potential.
Namaste. Welcome to Youth TV Show Season 7. In today's episode, we are featuring Nepal's Top 7 Debaters 2017 produced by Leadership Academy. The topic for the final round of Category 4, Grade 7, 8 and 9 is Internet is a Distraction for Studies. Our finalists are Khyatee Atolia studying in Grade 8 in John Dewey School, Kathmandu, and Christina Nyopani studying in Grade 9 in Florissant School, Kathmandu. Congratulations to both the finalists for making it to the final round in this national debate competition. Our judges for today's final round are Mr. Santosh Shah, he is the president of Leadership Academy, Ms. Hannah Rose Holloway, she works in international development, and Mr. NIRNAYA NSK, he is a performing artist. We will now begin with our debate. May I request Khyatee Atolia to come up on stage. She will speak for the motion.
I was given an essay, an assignment to write an essay on heart, and now the first thing I went, honestly, was on internet. And when I go to the internet and I open Wikipedia, wow, the hub of information is everlasting. The information is endless out there about hearts. And yeah, well, I'm scrolling on the internet. I'm looking at about heart, about its functions and everything. And then my crush texts me for the first time in my life. Wow, I need to reply to that. It's the first time he's ever texted me. And now, as I text him back, and then he texts me back again, and then we have a conversation. But then, before I realize, my 3 hours are over. And guess what? I've not written my essay yet. This is what happens on internet. Although our purpose is to go find information, study and everything, internet is a major distraction, and this cannot be changed. Not only text, not only messages, but then we also have those small blinkers, news feeds, links to porn sites, news and music and everything else that distracts you from your main purpose, which is studying. And not only that, we all know how addictive internet is, and it's not me saying or it's not someone else saying, it's a proven fact. Do you guys know what's dopamine? So it's this chemical substance that's released into your mind when you do something addictive. And it's said that while using internet, that substance is continuously released in your brain, making you hooked up on it to such an extent that you cannot leave it away and start your studies. Isn't that a distraction? Isn't that temptation to go on it again and again, to check your Facebook every time? Isn't that a distraction from your studies? A study in Britain said that 9 out of 10 students check their Facebook once in every 1 hour. That's a striking feature now. And not only distractions, but then there are so many other problems that is led because of internet. Those include a lot of psychological problems as starting, and they disturb you from your studies the most. So the first thing that happens when you use internet is your eyes start getting drowsy. You're also physically down, which makes it even more hard to concentrate on your studies. Not only that, but then internet, it's proven in MRI studies that were done with a lot of brain scans, that when you use internet, your concentration power goes very, very low. And now when you cannot concentrate on something, how can you study? Also, because your subconscious is being stored by the various things that internet offers, you cannot use that memory to study and then do well in it. Because study is focusing and concentrating on your exams or on your studies and lessons. So when your subconscious is full, you cannot study and concentrate on it. Hence, I would really strongly like to state my point that internet is a distraction. Thank you.
May I request Christina Nyopani to come up on stage. She will speak against the motion.
www, as you all know that it means World Wide Web. It is the home of spider. If you become spider and use internet, it is really beneficial. But if you become insect, then you get trapped in it. In the internet industry, it's not about a grand innovation. It's about a lot of little innovations done in every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week and every month, trying to make something a little bit better than the before. Internet, it is the package of everything that you get into books, copies, notes, universities, even our schools, which helps us to gain knowledge, which helps us to improve our education, which helps us in our studies. Getting the information of the study of the internet in this modern era is just like taking a drink from a fire hydrant. In the modern era, internet has emerged itself as a useful method for all age groups. In the past, its usage was just limited to business activities, but now, in the present, in the modern era, internet has become one of the useful method for students to learn, one of the fabulous method for teaching learning process. There are various sites available on internet which not only helps students to improve their study but also helps students to enjoy their time with the study. Not quickly but surely, online education is becoming a trend among the students of different countries from almost around the world. We can have a glance look upon the context of our country Nepal too. Those students who are connected with internet are improving day by day. Their studies is progressing than the students who are not with internet. If there is internet connection in Jumla and Humla also, then the students of that region can also compete with the students of America and Britain. My opponent argued saying that internet is a distraction, but I want to make it clear that the students of America and Britain are more progressive than the students of Nepal. Why is it so? It is only because of internet. In America and Britain, the students are taught by the help of internet, not by the help of books or copies. So they are good in their studies. Lots of universities have come up with many online graduate programs which helps students in their study. Those students who are disabled and who cannot even maintain their class can easily read from the internet. They can easily attend their class by the means of internet. Internet, it can produce a perfect cook, skilled technician, advanced mechanic, or hardworking student, laborers, farmer, and how can it be a distraction? My opponent, you may argue saying that I am out of the limit when I talked about the fields rather than the study, but we don't have to forget that study is one of the part of learning, and the fields that I taught can never go beyond the study. Learning. Those students who have internet connection at home, they can do research. They can do their assignments themselves. Those students who do not have internet connection, they simply go to school, copy the assignments from their home. So where is the education here? So if we have to progress in our study, if we want further better studies in our country, then the internet should be accessed. My opponent also argued saying that internet is distraction because there is Facebook. But I want to make it clear that the education system of America and Britain is not distracted. Their students in their countries, they are far more better than the students of Nepal. It is only because of internet. So thank you.
Internet is a hub of knowledge. It has endless topics, it has endless books, it has everything else. That's what my fellow opponent just said. Because of it, we can have trained cooks and skilled technicians and everything. But then I want all of you to come back into reality. The reality is, if a child uses internet for 5 hours, I don't believe that 2 hours of that is productive. People just go on it. Like I said, people just go on it for a purpose, that's to study. But then the distractions are so much on it. You can go on any website, you can go on any educational program, and you'll always have those small links. Aren't those distracting? Tell me you have that willpower to not get distracted by anything. I don't think so. Internet is, in fact, although it can be knowledgeable, although it's a hub of knowledge, it does not change the fact that reality is it's distracting and we're not doing anything productive on it. That's the reality here.
My fellow opponent, I want to make it clear that there is not only a medium of entertainment in internet, but also there is a vast course for study. There is a vast course for study by which students can complete their assignment. And you also talked a lot about the students who are hanging over the internet, but I want to make it clear that for the intelligent students who are highly dedicated on study, they don't use the internet for bad works. They are highly dedicated in this study only. Internet is not a distraction. Instead, it's a kind of smart study. In fact, whatever notes and books that we make, many ideas collected there are grabbed from the internet. So how can you say that internet is a distraction? Who dare saying that internet is distraction? Instead, internet is helping for our study. It is helping for our better future. Let's change our thoughts, let's change our mind so that we can be successful in our life. Internet is not a distraction. Instead, it's a kind of smart study from where we can take many points, from where we can make our career also. We can take example of Mahavir Pun. He have joined the internet access in his village. Why did he did so? Only because only the reason is that the students of that region can also be forwarded in their studies. Thank you.
May I request both the finalists to come up on stage? May I request the judges for their feedback?
Khyatee and Christina, I must say that it was quite an impressive debating. Khyatee, you were to the point, a good start. When you start a story, most of the time in a debate it gets distracted from the topic, but you brought it to the point, which is a very good skill. Well researched, and your points were well placed. I hope you maintain that in the second round at least. And Christina, you're very confident, and when you're very confident you tend to speak very fast, so maybe in the second round if you could slow down a bit and still figure out a way to get all your points out, that will be helpful. But also I felt, Christina, that it was like reading out an essay. You got the second chance, so you could start with the point and later on bring the fact that you had an opponent who spoke first. So you will have to bring up a bit more of the counterpart. Your rebuttal round was, it was good counter, but it was less convincing. So here you have to convince us why internet is not distracting. Distraction is the focus here. The internet is good or bad, that's not the debate here.
Yes, as Santosh said, you are both strong speakers, which is great to see. Khyatee, you present your ideas well and you do it in a very leveled manner, which comes across very well. I must admit that, Christina, you do speak a bit too quickly, which I completely understand. I do the same thing. But I think you do need to really slow yourself down because we're missing some of the points. And I think maybe your counter is also missing some of the points. So you do need to try and slow yourself down a little bit. I think the first round was good. The rebuttal round I felt was repetitive. I didn't feel like any new points were really coming across, and in particular issues around the internet and whether or not the validity and the wealth of information, there's a lot of components that haven't been touched on yet, which I think can be brought out, I hope can be brought out in the second round more.
Like they said, both of you were good, right? And Khyatee, I liked that you kept it very real, right? So I really liked that part. And Christina, some people say that I speak fast. That's why I'm trying to speak as slow as I can. Then I think you need to slow it down a little bit. Best of luck for the next round.
We will be back with the second round of debate after a short break. Welcome back. You are watching Nepal's Top 7 Debaters 2017. We will now begin with the second round of debate. May I request Khyatee Atolia to come up on stage. She will speak for the motion.
Internet, a great hub of information, a phony image. It's not that. It's distraction. And what study? Is study only researching and getting things into your notebook and showing it to the teachers? Is that what we call studies? I don't think so. Studies, in fact, is creativity, knowledge, understanding, thinking what's right, what's wrong, decision making. Your critical thinking, analyzing. That's also part of study. That's learning. And internet, in fact, just butchers it all up. You have an essay, you have a creative writing, and what do? You go on internet for personal essays. Isn't that striking now? You go on internet for a personal essay. That is, in fact, a very big blow to your creativity. And creativity is a part of thinking. It shows in the MRI studies that a person who uses internet for more than 7 hours a day has his brain as high as someone on cocaine. And isn't that a distraction to studies? Is that what you call learning, high education, or progressing? I don't think so. Progressive education, in fact, is going out, learning with people, exploring. That's what studying. That's what exploring. That's what's learning. And internet, due to that internet, everything such is just getting so damaged, and it's getting just put away in a closet or something. It's getting stored in a storeroom. That's what's happening with internet. And internet, it affects your critical thinking, your decision making, your problem analyzing skills. Aren't those a part of your studies? Don't you need them when you study? I don't think so. Internet is a very big butcher to your creativity, to your original ideas, and also a major distraction for your studies. Thank you.
May I request Christina Nyumpane to come up on stage. She will speak against the motion.
My opponent, you said that internet is a blow for creativity, but I want to ask you a question that the points that you included here to convince that internet is a distraction, aren't they from internet? Yes, they are from internet. I also visited the internet sites for the help for the points that I presented here, but how can you say that internet is distraction by using the same medium? by using the same medium. In the 21st century, here we have the concept of e-learning, e-library, e-farming, e-banking, e-finance. And why is it in practice? It is only because it has advantages. So is it a distraction? No, it is not. There is the concept of far distance, far education and open education. So how can it be a distraction? A student can learn sitting in a home with the professors from America, Canada, and any students from any corner of the world can consult with the best professor by the means of internet only. So how can it be a distraction? Internet, it is simply a website which helps us in increasing our creativity. It does not butchers up our creativity. Instead, it increases our creativity. Internet is the thing by which the whole world is running today. The speeches that are given by the presidents and vice presidents of America, USA, Japan, etc. are also being said by the help of internet. So how can it be a distraction? Internet is not a distraction for studies. Instead, it is a kind of smart study. It does not only contains the medium for entertainment, but also contains a vast course for study. In fact, the fact is that the education with entertainment is the best form of education. In fact, the fact is that every progress that have been made in the education field today are done by the help of internet. So how can it be a distraction? There is a huge question that how can internet be a distraction if someone recites the same point from the internet, and how can she say that internet is a distraction? Thank you.
First of all, how do you know I used the internet for my research? Hey, were you spying on me? I'm not sure. I don't know how that came in that I used internet for my research. Although I might have gone on it, but I'll tell you honestly, I don't think I spent more than 30 minutes on the internet doing research for this. I was more busy on my Facebook account. Again, that's honesty. The other thing she just gave it away was the poem she copied from internet. That's what I'm saying. Thank you for saying it for me. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. That if you copy the poem from internet, if you copy your personal essays from internet, if you copy everything from your internet, what are you doing? Where are your brains? Are you using them? That's also part of studies. And internet is plain tempting. The only things you're tempted on is Facebook, Instagram. Internet is not just a website for your books and everything. It's a temptation. It's a serious temptation that butchers your creativity and is a serious distraction to studies.
My fellow opponent, let me say you that you also study in school. You also study the subject computer. Why do you study that? To study the advantages of internet. If you are studying the advantages of internet in your course book, then why are you saying that it is distraction? If internet was really a distraction, then why could it be mentioned as extracurricular subject in a school, in our studies? So question is here that why is included as extracurricular subject? It is only included because it can increase our knowledge. Increase our knowledge. I want to ask you a question that if you are copying something from my internet, then it does not. I want to say you that if you are copying some points from internet, then it does not decreases your creativity. Instead, it helps you in your study. Instead, it helps you to improve a lot. In the examination types also, it's far better to search down from internet than to turn every pages of our notes, isn't it? Yes, it is. Internet is one of the best methods so that to apply for our study. Internet can never be a distraction. At last, what I all want to say is that internet can never be a distraction for a student. It is always helpful to the students. Thank you.
May I request both the finalists to come up on stage? May I request the judges for their feedback?
Like I was saying, both of you are very talented. Both of you had very good examples. I like that.
I like that both of you brought up two good points in your opening arguments. Khyatee, for example, you talked a lot about the phony image of internet and also discussed about critical thinking and the fact that internet can stifle it, which I thought were two very good points, which were not as well expressed in the first round and were better expressed this round. Christina, again, speed, but you slowed it down more than the first round, which was good. But again, I felt it needed just a little bit more. But you had also two very good points, which I felt like you could have built on, which was around access in particular, because you did mention it in the first part of the second round. The fact that internet has made it available, has made access to information across the world something that's an opportunity now or an option, which I think is an extremely good point for those who do not have access to regular education. And then, of course, the second point is the fact there's a wealth of information. There is a large quantity of it, and you can get everything on there. Now, whether or not it's good or bad is a separate discussion. So you both brought up two good points in the first round of the second half. I felt in the rebuttal section that, again, it was a bit repetitive and that you could have used that opportunity to try and expand further on either those two discussion points or to give a few more examples. Khyatee, you are personable and you use colloquialisms which make it appealing, and you refer to subjects which many people would understand and appreciate. So I think that was very well done. And Christina, again, you had some good points. They were lost a little bit on the speed of your speech. But otherwise, you guys both did well.
Khyatee and Christina, I think your first round was better than the second. That's how I have marked. The last rebuttal round was weak on both sides. As judges have said that it was a bit repetitive. Khyatee, you picked up on the story being honest about using Facebook more than doing the research. But I thought somehow you'd link that to the topic, which could have been to your advantage. But you kind of missed out right there. You have 1 minute in the rebuttal round, so you want to use it very well. The example you gave was related to the topic, but you could have used it well. Christina, a lot of questions were asked. And in 4 rounds, maybe 1 round you could give it to many questions, but you do not need to repeat the same questioning throughout the end. In the rebuttal round, there was more of an attack against each other rather than the counter. So you have to get back to your logic and your counter argument. On the good side, Khyatee, your strength was bringing the content of creativity and innovation. Those were the two new points that you brought up, which was kind of convincing. What I liked about Christina's point is you brought e-learning, like e-banking, etc., which is undeniable. So when you argue, you bring out logic that is very difficult to deny. So that's always a good strength of the debate. So in my own marking, you both are neck to neck. Let me tally with other judges and then see what the result is like.
The judges are finalizing their marks, and we are eagerly waiting to know who is declared as the winner and the runner-up Nepal's Top 7 Debaters 2017, Category 4, Grade 7, 8 and 9. I would like to request our judge, Mr. Santosh Shah, to announce the result.
The winner for Nepal's Top 7 Debaters 2017, Category 4, Grade 7, 8 and 9 is Khyatee Atolia. The second winner for Nepal's Top 7 Debaters 2017, Category 4, Grade 7, 8 and 9 is Christina Neupane.
Congratulations to the winner and the runner-up. May I request our judge, Mr. NIRNAYA NSK, to come up on the stage and hand over the certificate to the first winner. May I request our judge, Ms. Hannah Rose Holloway, to come up on the stage and hand over the certificate to the second winner. Leadership Academy conducts 4 competitions annually: Nepal's Top 7 Debaters, Nepal's Top 7 Young Poets, Nepal Model United Nation, and Model Chart. If you are a student between grade 7 and bachelor's level and interested to audition for any of the 4 annual competitions, application submission is now open. To apply, you can call our office at 425-7250 or visit us at facebook.com/leadershipacademyktm. We will be back next week with a new episode of UTV Show. Until then, hope you have a great week ahead. Namaste.